Welcome to Statesman, the podcast where we explore all 50 states with our 5 senses. If you've come here for history, we'll give you some. But most of this is half-baked opinion that is never intended to harm or offend anyone. Today, we paint a picture of a land that's the quality of a shirt or towel without any fabric softener added to the mix. Starchy. This 83,797 square mile sack of potatoes is widely known for its potatoes, supplying the United States with a whopping 29% of its potatoes, evaluated at approximately $1 billion potatoes, and is widely regarded as the potato capital of the world. But today, those archaic potatoes are just this hoe's side hustle and left unearthed in the dirt by its 50-year-old interest in daddy semiconductor and computer part manufacturing. Potato outside and sad, but semiconductor daddy finally happy. Semiconductor single daddy won't go home alone no more. Semiconductor single daddy say sorry to potato. It's the state where they let it be perpetual. We welcome you to Idaho. I'm your elder statesman, Tim Ferrari, along with my junior statesman, Anthony Rossi.
Hello. I hope you're ready for some Ida jokes.
And Stuart Highcar.
Ida, where my homies at?
That's the joke that I was gonna make.
Well, I made it first. And Tim, before we even get into this thing, we should address the fact that our little mustaches are touching.
Well, my dead mustache is touching your alive mustache.
The graveyard of your mustache is touching the normal yard of my mustache.
If anybody could see how close our lips are, it's static electricity between
If
the two
anyone
of them.
saw how close our lips are together, they would pass out from the pleasure and anticipation of a kiss. Anthony, we're sharing a mic today.
I'm not. I'm loose and unwrangled here, baby. I'm flying around.
Unwrangled.
I'm a ball of energy right now, even after destroying a burrito the size of my head about an hour ago.
And that is a big head.
Hey,
Ida, hold on. How big was that burrito?
it was a double-wrapped Chipotle burrito, and they truly did not give a shit. They just started throwing in it was more than a bowl's worth, and I ate the whole thing. I was that hungry.
I think that's the problem with getting a double wrap burrito is that you just allow yourself so much of that outer protection to stuff so much more ingredient in there.
Mm-hmm. For me, like a single wrap is more than enough, okay? And
yeah, you're more of a country music fan, huh?
Oh, boy. Okay. Yes. All right. I'd like a good piece of barbecue instead of a wrapped up burrito.
Anthony,
Yeah.
how are you doing this week?
I'm doing fine. I've been insanely busy. Fever dreams in process. I've been writing up a storm, which is something that's still like a skill that I'm building back into. I'm much more used to doing improvisational theater for the tee-hee-hee capital of the United States of America, Chicago, Illinois.
Tony, would you mind doing some improv for us right now?
Hey, kid, you're in my car.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
That's
that was
a good
really
initiation. It was a character. Character fact.
You told them what your scene
location.
partner, they were a kid. You were above them in the power dynamic.
Yeah, the only thing that was missing was a name.
Oh.
So here's my take 2 at that line, which you frequently get in improv.
Thank you.
Hey, kid. Oh, Jeremy, it's you. Why are you in my car?
That's a perfect initiation line. Your tool belt is stacked, my man. But Tim, Tim the Tool Man Taylor is a character, but let's not talk about your tool belt. Let's talk about your week.
Sure. Well, similarly to Tim the Toolman Taylor, I at once had not a problem with alcohol, but I said that I'd swear it off. And I have sworn that swear off and have continued again.
You're drunk right now.
Yes.
Okay. No, you're not. I can smell your breath because it's right next to my breath, and it smells as peachy clean as a peach.
Really?
Did you just eat a peach?
No, I've been drinking coffee.
Hey, Tim, just like Home Improvement, you're canceled, buddy.
Yeah, I agree. Wait, Stu, how's your week been?
I thought you'd never ask. What a week it's been. Man, what have I done in the past 7 days? I'm talking about big dining adventures. I'm talking about seeing the stage, the screen, just about everything. I went down to the beach, got a nice sunburn, which one of our guests might be able to talk to me a little bit about. What's up, Anthony?
I was just going to ask, for all
Yeah.
our fans that are on Business Card Watch 2K19, how many business cards have you distributed?
Again, we have barely started talking about the Patreon, but once it gets up, I'm thinking level 4 or 5, you have to put in like $60, $70 a month. I will send you a business card. I will send you my business card, and the corners are rounded.
Whoa.
That's right. It's
That's-
embossed.
That's good because it's safe for me. I don't want to cut my fingies.
All right. Well, let's cut this out and move on to our guests, shall we?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's welcome them. They're a filmmaking duo, sort of like the Coen brothers, but they're sisters. Let's please welcome Morgan and Taylor Nadauld.
Thanks for having us.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Welcome.
Welcome to the show.
It is an absolute pleasure to have you guys on.
An absolute pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it is.
Who's the Ethan and who's the Joel?
We don't have at least I don't have extensive knowledge.
I don't
about
have
the
any
Coen
knowledge.
brothers.
Morgan's the one that
I did mention
suggested
them
that introduction.
just
so.
because people seem to like them and people seem to like us.
That sounds like a real Ethan kind of thing to say.
Okay, so
I guess I'm Ethan. Oh, who's the other one?
Joel.
Joel.
I hope Joel's a good guy.
Well, let me let me ask you guys, and this is for the listeners at home. Obviously, you're sisters. You share a last name, but you have different first names, and I think we should delineate those for everyone listening at home. Morgan, would you like to sing a quick song for us to make sure everybody knows who you are?
No, thanks.
Okay, and Taylor, if you would like to give us a quick ditty,
A ditty?
a quick P ditty.
You're doing
Oh.
great. Okay. So both of you are sisters from Idaho.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Idaho? Is it a place that you remember fondly? Now that you moved to Chicago, I mean, you're kind of not in
Well, we
Idaho
just-
anymore.
right.
That's true.
We
That's
just
a good
moved
point.
here. Great point. We just moved here 7 or 8 months ago. So it hasn't been that long.
But we do love Idaho. We love it.
The passion in your voice is what I'm picking up on. Where did you guys grow up in Idaho?
Idaho Falls.
Yeah, Idaho Falls.
Southeast.
Southeast of the state.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
West of the country.
Where's Boise?
Boise is on the other side of the state.
West.
Like how far
Like-
away?
Or like-
It's
driving.
like a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Tim, the next time you want to know where Boise are, they're in my front lawn. I just made a milkshake, baby. Like the song? Like the Kellis song?
Good fucking god.
It's just that there's nothing really funny about Idaho.
What are you talking about?
It's gonna be a serious dry episode.
What are you talking about? Idaho is where my Idahomies are at.
Nice.
Do you have
Come on.
Idahomies besides us?
No, I don't have any
Oh,
Idahomies.
okay.
You two are my
Oh.
only Idahomies, I think.
To be honest, it's been kind of hard to find Idahomies. Thank God that I was put in connection with Morgan as an Idaho native, and then that connected us to you, Taylor. Because,
Really?
guys, is it true? You're the only people from Idaho?
It is true.
It's true, yeah.
Actually, I think there's like one more Idaho person that we met here in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
somebody
the three
named
of us,
Sam.
the three of us are all here in Chicago
He
at
went.
the same
Yeah,
time.
he went to HRFS.
Oh,
shit.
okay. And for the listeners who don't know, HRFS is the comedy, the premier comedy film school in the world.
You went
Yes.
there.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know.
Say it. Say it out loud.
Okay, it's the Harold Ramis Film School. Anyway, so so you guys moved pretty recently from Idaho. What are some of like the major differences that you see between like that state and fucking here?
It's just completely different. Idaho, like we grew up in a rural part of the state.
Mhm.
I mean, the whole state is rural
Yeah.
except Boise, but
Rolling fields.
rolling fields,
Lots of rolling
lots of
fields.
mountains.
Yeah, you just don't get away from those rolling fields.
There's definitely an accent here
Oh,
that
there's
I
Yeah.
feel like we're picking up a little
in
bit.
Idaho?
No,
in Chicago.
Oh,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Do you guys think there's an Idaho accent that you might be losing now
I
that
don't-
you're here in Chicago, Illinois?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but I was just talking about this the other day because we're on the border with Utah, so you get a lot of that like Salt Lake
Right.
vibes coming in. And I feel like Utah definitely has an accent.
Really?
Yeah, like they don't say their T's or anything
Oh,
like
that's
mountain.
true.
Do they
like,
call it Ewa?
crick? No.
Salt Lake Sea. Does that read at all?
So, just in terms of like the people you've met, like what's like a major difference in terms of like your typical Idaho lifestyle versus Chicago? Like obviously the city kind of informs what you're able to do in terms of
Oh
your
my
access,
gosh.
but like
Okay, here's something. The men are very different here.
Amazing here.
They are amazing.
Okay, thank you. And we are, but why?
Morgan, why don't you take this one?
Well, okay. Well,
We were just talking about it the other day. Like they're just so. Maybe it's just a
so
second city thing.
considerate and like just very
So
respectful.
smart, so
What?
Kind
like
and just-
intuitive.
Yeah,
And this is in the
very-
comedy community.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's actually kind of surprising, honestly.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, everything that goes on in the Chicago comedy community I feel like can always be spelled in a bad light. Or not really spelled, but you can definitely find something really, really easily that's not all that
Man,
great.
as soon
I
as
guess
we
it's
got
all
here, like, oh my
relative.
gosh, the men are so
Idaho.
wonderful, simply
Oh, yeah.
wonderful.
What's
that
wrong
was
with
like immediate.
There's nothing wrong with the Idaho men, though.
Well,
Like,
hold on. But we're better than them? I mean,
not
all
better,
the
just
three of
like
us.
a whole different brand.
is it like
Yeah,
a
different
wokeness
brand.
factor? Like unironically.
Oh, yeah,
like,
absolutely.
It's
It's
just
not like an annoying wokeness factor, though.
No,
It's
no,
like,
not
it's
not in a
perfect
fake
level of
way.
Refreshing.
wokeness.
Yes.
Right. Just like a little more with the
It's like the men here are like feminists,
a little more
Yes.
current.
Yeah.
Hmm.
but like actually,
Yes.
Do you think in Idaho, and obviously we don't want to paint the entire state with this statement, but do you think there are more people who are maybe a little bit more behind on the issues of social justice
more
or the
Oh,
change of
traditional?
yeah.
a
like,
traditional?
Oh, that's a big. Okay, we were just talking about how. I just heard my Idaho accent in that
What?
statement. Oh,
We
and
just
it's
said- we
horrible to
just
hear it
talked
in
about
the
how there is no
headphones.
Idaho accent.
I know, but I just heard myself saying like talking. Oh, we're just talking about. Okay.
Oh,
Anyway,
big
we were
deal.
just talking about Pride Month here in Chicago was like
Mhm.
absolutely amazing, so beautiful,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like everybody's celebrating, just rainbows all over the street the whole month of June.
And you're telling me
Um,
that the Idaho Falls Pride Month isn't exactly
I read
as
this
big?
article from East Idaho News. Shout out eastidahonews.com.
What up?
It was just an article saying, "Hey, Pride Parade this week in
Pride
Idaho." Like
Idaho.
it was just an advertisement for the Pride Parade, and just the comment section on that article was just so awful.
Horrific.
And I've never really noticed it that much. I mean, I just thought maybe that's how the whole world is. But then we moved to Chicago, and I was reading that, and I was just like, I don't know. Maybe being in a city, like you just are super progressive. Like,
It's so interesting that it's such a stark difference between here and over there.
yeah,
I
the
don't
politics are completely different.
none of the guests that we've had on previously have ever I don't think have ever really talked about like the disconnect between like political leanings between over there and over here.
I do think a lot of that has to do with you guys are probably the freshest two Chicago guests we've had. Like a lot of the guests we've had came here a couple of years ago or something and have been in the comedy scene for a while. But because you guys just sort of came into it, you have those like fresh eyes onto it. And I'm curious, for me, this feels like the biggest leap you can make because I'm thinking Idaho, a generally red state, moving to not just a liberal city, but you're moving to a liberal city and getting into a community of like artistic people whose number one like goal is representation and for everyone to like be heard. It's like become like the kind of the
Which is
marching cry. A
so
lot of
beautiful.
oh, it's
Yeah, it's
great. Yeah,
amazing.
it's just I can't imagine did that feel like a culture shock at all, or did you guys feel like you were just like entering the gates of heaven?
Definitely a culture shock.
I'd say both, honestly. It's
yeah,
really
and
nice,
entering the
really
gates of
refreshing.
heaven.
Yeah, it is really different though. Because in Idaho, I think it has to do a lot with the
The religious
religious
population.
community.
there,
Exactly.
Yeah.
there are
Like I
so
said,
many-
you're getting the Salt Lake vibe. So
Right.
everybody there is Mormon. We
Okay.
grew up Mormon.
Yeah.
Right. Hold on. No,
Oh, I
I
actually
did
didn't know
know
that.
that. But till what age did you guys leave the church?
Oh man.
pretty
Have
rec-
you?
I mean, not that long ago, honestly.
I
for
don't
me.
have my name removed from the
Right,
records
our-
or anything
our-
like
our
that,
name- we're
but
still technically.
Do you have to
Like
remove
they-
your name from a record
Oh, yeah.
to leave?
oh yeah.
They know where we are.
Right
I
now?
didn't- Whoa. We don't know that. They're going to know now. We're going to get some missionaries sent to our door now that they
Yeah.
know we're in
Oh, no.
Chicago.
We're gonna get some missionaries listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
Those are huge numbers. And for all those Salt Lake City listeners, how's it going? I hope you're enjoying a cup of
Hey, guys.
lemonade.
We
We
love
miss
our Mormon
you. We
fans. So,
do.
yes, shout out to
I
us
want
all.
to ask you guys a little bit coming up in the Mormon church. I grew up in Colorado and knew a ton of Mormon people like it because of our sort of vicinity to Utah, probably.
Yeah.
And for me, there were only like two kinds of Mormon people. And there were people who were living their best life and were maybe the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. And then there were people who I was like, you're so mean. You're so mean to me. Why is that? Like,
So true.
So accurate.
yes.
thank you. I consider myself a bit of an eyeglass to the culture of America.
Yeah, most of the Mormons that I know are very, very nice, good people. But
There is that.
there's just an
That-
ingrained judgmental,
Yeah.
something judgmental
Especially-
that comes with that because you feel like you're part of the one true
Right.
church on
Mhm.
earth.
And especially in an area where there are so many people that are Mormon, it's like if everybody kind of knows what exactly your track record is for like going to church or like
Mhm.
doing all the things that
Yeah.
you're supposed to be doing in the whole Mormon community, because there's like seminary where in school you have to go and take Mormon classes, like
During
just
school.
credits like out of your schedule,
Mhm.
and people kind of keep tabs on that.
But I think that's accurate. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
true.
judgmental people
Yeah.
and there's
Yeah,
nice
I was just
people.
curious. It feels that way about a lot of religions.
Yeah,
I think,
Yeah.
right?
I think there's always going to be that the two opposing schools of thought where it's like I want to be as warm as possible and open my arms up
Mhm.
to everyone, to try to embrace them into my community.
Mhm.
Or if they're not part of my community, I'm gonna shoot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cross my arms and they're lost already.
And I
So-
know this isn't like a political podcast, but or a one on religion or anything like that. But I think that determination, that separation, has to do something with like how literal you take the rules of your church. I think most churches at their base are just like, be nice to people and have a good time and make friends and do better on
I
the
was
earth
just
than
saying
you
that
came
the other
in.
day. The Mormon church is a very, very literal church.
Yeah.
So you're following. I mean, I could get so far into it, but
But
I
we
won't,
love
but-
the culture.
Oh yeah, that's why we're talking about it now. It's just because it's so much a part of the culture of Idaho. Like you can't separate that from the state of Idaho.
Not to like just deviate from the topic of religion, but you lived in like a very rural area,
Mm-hmm.
not like a
Well-
suburban or.
Oh, actually, it was a suburban area surrounded by ruralness.
Yeah.
Idaho Falls. I don't know. It's probably like 4th or 5th.
I mean,
biggest
there was
city in
like a
Idaho or
potato
something.
field across the street, but it was
Yeah.
a neighborhood.
Yeah,
It's,
okay.
it's suburban.
I think I lived pretty similarly to you.
Like 60,000 people probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's approximately the town that I lived in
Yeah.
too, but like very adjacent to those farms and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Missouri, in
Oh,
like
cool.
outside of St. Louis.
Yeah, he
Okay.
grew up down in the South, so
Okay. Well, let's move on to the body of the podcast, where we explore Idaho with our 5 senses. But before we do that, I believe Anthony has a game.
absolutely, but it's actually not a game. It's a branding exercise.
huh?
Today we're going to be doing an experience called Spuds: studs or duds. What we're gonna do today,
This is
You
curing
know-
my homesickness.
I hope every segment is potato based.
well, this one certainly is.
Be careful what you wish for.
This one certainly is because I've amassed a couple bags of chips for us, but I've noticed that they're missing one thing: a mascot that draws you in to pick that bag.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm not talking about a bag of Cheetos, which has recognizable ass Chester. I'm not talking about a bag of hot fries, which has recognizable ass Andy Cap. I'm talking
recognize him.
about I'm talking about these bags of chips with no mascot. So what we're gonna do is bust out some bags, taste some chips, and put our heads together to come up with the perfect mascot for each one.
And Anthony, let me just say, I'm bustin' bags.
Cool. Everybody's ready to play Spuds: studs or duds. All right. I'm gonna pull out the first bag of chips. You might
Okay.
recognize this one.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very vanilla bag. It's baked
Classic.
Lay's. It's just yellow. Now, let's all have a taste and try to come up with a mascot that could represent this taste.
The loudest segment in
It's
the
gonna be
world.
extremely loud.
Biting
I'm sorry.
chips and opening bags
Help
of them.
yourself to a baked Lay.
So let me just get this game straight. We're going to taste the chip. We're going to, as a team, come up with a mascot for it, and then do we decide if that mascot is a stud or a dud?
Yeah, once we have the list of mascots, we're gonna choose the ultimate stud and the ultimate dud.
Okay.
All right?
I like it.
Yeah, this chip is pretty good. It's lightly salted, 60% less fat. You know, that's fun. That's a character description.
Definitely.
I'll say it. These baked Lays, yeah, I don't like them.
Whoa,
yeah, can I
what?
ask, why did you choose baked?
Because
Because it's Health Week, baby.
there's no mascot on the bag.
Is there? But there's not
I
a
don't think
normal
classic
Lay's.
Lay's
Yeah,
has a
Lay's doesn't
mascot.
have a mascot.
Well, neither does the baked Lay's.
Son of a bitch. All right.
I
well,
chose this one because I
Anthony's
thought
favorite.
that they're so
You know
they're
what?
so
I
plain.
enjoyed it. I liked the
Right.
chip. I'm really hungry right
I
now.
so-
up, Taylor.
They're so neutral. They're so neutral that they're ripe for an opportunity to have a mascot that draws you in and
Speaking
encourages
of
you to buy it.
riped, on the bag it says baked, so maybe our mascot is some sort of cool stoner Cheech and Chong type guy named Clay. These are Clay's Lays.
Clay Aiken.
Whoa! Hey, I'm pretty down to be on the
Clay Aiken.
Okay, so Clay Aiken for the baked Lays.
He's got just little.
Baked Lays brought to you by Clay Aiken.
Clay
Why
Aiken
don't
is
we
just
call them
basic enough?
Lays
Yeah.
baked in or something. That way it's like
Okay,
Clay
yeah, yeah,
Aiken,
yeah. Right,
Lays
right, right.
baked in.
I don't know if
That
that
kind of makes me think
reads.
of Kevin Bacon.
I think-
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Clay Aiken. Can we just? This game is going to be
Can we
really
just-
long.
Clay Aiken's
Okay.
It's not
baked
going to be
Lays.
that long.
Clay Aiken's baked Lays. Anthony,
All
that's
right,
our final
You're
answer.
locking in Clay Aiken for baked Lays.
Yes.
Original.
Let's tag
Very
Clay
cool.
Aiken in this.
Do you? that
He's
maybe,
probably listening.
I think he must be, right?
Hey, Clay.
He knows where you guys are at all times.
Clay,
Clay.
if you're
He's keeping
listening,
tabs.
come on the pod and sing us a song.
Yeah.
All right, here we have
That's-
the next bag. We have a 7-Eleven brand prime rib
7-Eleven.
flavored wavy potato chip.
Fuck! It's prime rib
Prime
flavored,
rib.
and on the bag there is what looks like a medium rare steak.
Ooh, that smells intense. So this is gonna be an intense character to
Gross.
push these prime rib Lays. Oh no, prime rib 7-Eleven chips.
Smells good to me.
You guys know I'm the queen of 7-Eleven, right?
Oh, you are? Is that true?
Taylor lives
It
there.
is my kingdom.
What's your favorite thing to get?
I like to. Well, this is embarrassing.
Is it rollers?
Let me
I
tell
like
you,
to-
she goes to 7-Eleven and she gets a tuna sandwich.
What the hell?
What the
With
fuck?
a bag
no,
of Takis. Takis and a 7-Eleven tuna sandwich.
no wonder
Oh my
you're on
gosh.
fucking
Is
Health
that the
Week.
wild
You're
secret?
eating
Yeah, really.
tuna sandwiches from
Look,
7-Eleven.
Really?
if a British person ever says "ta-ta" for now to you, you're probably thinking tuna and Takis. I don't know, guys.
Just-
Okay.
I
All
wasn't
you
sure where
can.
that was going.
Okay,
I'm out.
what about this? What about this mascot for the 7-Eleven chip? Tati the tuna.
Oh, why?
Oh.
Because Taylor likes to eat tuna sandwiches and Takis are.
What if we just had
Tuna.
Taylor with like
Brought
a
to you
tuna
by Taylor's
sandwich
Tuna.
on it?
Oh my gosh, yes. Just a picture of me with my tuna sandwich.
Sure. Have we
Sponsoring these barbecue chips.
have we already forgotten that these are prime rib flavored chips? I don't think you holding tuna is a good way of representing
Yeah.
prime rib chips.
Taylor eating ribs,
You
and
gotta
we
be kidding me. That's
call
the
her
spirit of 7-Eleven.
the Taki whatever you were saying.
Look, I think that we should go with the tuna simply for time's sake.
Whoa, I think okay. Well, if Tim has locked this one in, he hit the big red button on the table.
All right.
guys. Unfortunately, the prime rib
Taylor
mascot
eating tuna.
Taylor eating Taki tuna.
I love that idea.
So up next, we have a bag of Zapp's potato chips, Cajun dill gator taters. I don't know what this one's gonna taste like.
Oh, Morgan loves dill pickles.
Big fan.
Oh, well,
Uh-oh.
She loves pickle flavored anything, so this
Oh,
could
It's
be a
gonna
big
be
hit.
me, you, and Clay Aiken.
I already know Morgan should sponsor.
Yeah, we gotta come up with like one other mascot.
All right, what about this mascot for this one, guys? This is a low hanging fruit dill pickle from Rugrats.
You know, the point of this game was supposed to be to come up with original characters, and so far we haven't come up with one.
Clay Aiken's an original. Yeah.
What about Taylor Talkie Tuna?
Oh well, that's one, but that's not what we locked in for
This
time's
is-
sake.
This should definitely no. This is a Morgan sponsored chip. Purely
Yeah.
for the pickle thing. I
I
know
think-
she's supposed to be original. Let's just change her last name, like
Maybe
they did on Hannah
maybe there are
Montana.
2 mascots.
Yeah, maybe the flavor is Morgan's in a pickle, and it's like you trapped in a pickle jar.
And I'm doing like one of these.
Yeah, you're doing
Yeah.
one of those like I don't know how I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, like shrug.
Okay.
Like, what?
so far for the baked Lays, we have Clay Aiken.
Yes.
For the 7-Eleven prime rib chips, we have Taylor holding a tuna sandwich, and then for the Gator Taters, we have a Morgan in a pickle jar.
Oh my
So-
gosh! I love this.
yep. Well, she's
So-
in a pickle. Yeah.
Here we have the final bag: kettle potato chips, smoked Gouda flavor.
Oh, Jacob Burton.
This is another 7-Eleven bag, so it's.
You think
I'm
he's
pretty
listening?
sure it's just Taylor Talkie Tuna again.
Now,
And
these are-
hold on, while you introduce those chips, and I'm sorry, Anthony, but the girls, I think you said the first and last name of a friend of yours.
Jacob Burton always saying that's Gouda.
Oh, I
just
forgot. I
obsessed
thought you
with
just said
Gouda
that
generally.
randomly.
Oh no, he's always talking about Gouda,
I
isn't
don't
it?
remember that.
okay, I'm
Okay.
sorry. These chips taste gross.
Yeah. I don't like
I'm not really getting any of a taste out of them, except no, there's that seaweed taste.
Ugh,
And the
not
Gouda.
a fan. All right.
These
Am
are
I the
bad.
only one that likes them?
No, that was
Am I
good.
just really hungry?
Well, feel free to have the bag
same
when we're
taste
done
bud.
here.
Okay,
But-
I will. Feel free.
Kettle chips.
Yeah,
What's
we-
our mascot for
A kettle.
smoked
Okay,
Gouda?
a kettlebell. Maybe we're doing hey, who hosts another podcast and is famous for their kettlebells? Joe Rogan.
How about an original character? You were tanking this game on purpose. You guys have been resisting this game when it should have worked. This was a perfectly built
Why don't
game.
we just personify the chip?
Hey,
we go,
why don't we start from the
Gouda.
beginning and do that for all of them?
No.
That was the idea. of
All
the
right,
game,
let's
of course.
personify the chip. So it's kettle, it's Gouda, it's smoke. Nadauld sisters, what do you think?
Roasted cheese. At at the campfire. What if it's just a guy roasting a marshmallow at the campfire?
And it's Jacob Burton.
And he's saying that's Gouda.
Yeah, why doesn't Jacob Burton of Idaho Falls, Idaho, I
Idaho
assume,
Falls, baby.
is the new mascot for these kettle baked chips. So you
Oh my
can
gosh,
write
we've gotta
that down.
Tag Jacob in this.
He's
now.
at the campfire, though.
Yeah, he's at a campfire, and
saying,
Joe
"This is
Rogan
Gouda."
drove him there.
Yes.
They're eating
Joe
venison.
Rogan's waiting in the car.
Yeah, he didn't get out. He's scared of the woods. So Anthony, are we done?
No, we. Why don't we just scrap the game?
No,
Because it was a miserable failure.
we still have to pick who the stud and the dud are.
Oh yeah.
All right, so just to recap, we have Lay's. We have Clay Aiken on the Lay's bag, Taylor with a tuna sandwich on the 7-Eleven prime rib ruffled bag. The Gator Taters have Morgan in a pickle jar. I'm in a pickle. And then we have kettle chips with Jacob Burton at the campfire with Joe Rogan waiting in a car behind him.
It's gonna be really hard to
Oh,
pick
wow.
a dud out of all
Yeah,
these.
really.
These are all studs.
Okay, I'm gonna have to give a stud alert to the Clay Aiken.
Really?
Stud. That was the stud alert.
Also, the backstory on the Jacob Burton
Yeah.
one, like,
With
deserves
Joe
a
Rogan
stud
in the
alert.
car.
Yeah,
It's a
I think
stud.
he's an absolute stud. Jacob, congrats, you're a stud.
Let's give the duds to us, Morgan.
Yeah, me
what do
in
you
a pickle
say?
jar? That would never happen.
What do you say? And me with the tuna?
That happens every day. But that's a dud.
All right, well, that was a branding exercise. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so
Thank you
much. That was
so
so
much for doing such a great job and not rushing it along.
Anthony is furious because we do have an executive from Lay's here in the room.
I also spent a bunch of money on these chips just to have this segment not taken seriously at all.
Taylor, would you like those smoked Gouda chips to take
Please
home?
have all
Yes,
the rest of the
please.
chips.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but it is Health Week. Maybe I should take the baked.
Here, I'll
Lay's.
take 'em.
Okay, yeah, you have.
Either way, we
Have
probably
Clay
just-
Aiken's baked Lay's.
I don't
Do you,
want
know,
these.
you don't
days.
trust yourself to have them in the house and not eat them?
No, I
No.
really don't.
I completely understand. Well, who wants the rest of
Give
these
me one
prime
more of
rib
these,
chips?
though.
Camden's eyeing them.
Camden, try those primers.
Camden.
All right, Anthony, what was your fucking game called?
Oh my fucking god. It was called Spuds, Studs and Duds. And it, I want to say that the way the game was built, it was built for success.
You're not allowed to say that. You know how many games I've made that should work?
We don't have to do this on the pod.
We should move on.
All right, well, let's move on to the body of this whole thing and explore Idaho with our five senses. So the first segment that we're going to be doing is the smell segment, and that is the segment that I am forever and permanently in charge of as the elder statesman of the podcast. And what I have presented for you today, and Stuart, you're going to have to take over this mic because I have to reach into my backpack behind me.
I've taken over the mic, and what Tim is going to present to us today is a mystery to even me.
It's, of course, one of the only things that we could pull out of Idaho, and it, of course, is just a raw potato. So I've slammed a raw potato onto the table, and we're going to pass this around and just kind of take in the smells of Idaho
Take a whiff?
through our sniffers. So Morgan's sniffing the potato right now with two hands. And
It's a two-handed potato. You don't take just one to it. That's dangerous.
Okay, I can tell though the distance it's been because this is not a potato that was just freshly pulled out of the dirt like I'm used to smelling.
Okay, the dirt that you're smelling is something that's familiar to you.
I'm not smelling the dirt is the problem.
Gotcha.
yeah.
I
The
agree. I'm
potato
not
just
smelling the
kind
dirt.
of doesn't really smell like anything.
It doesn't smell like anything, and I'm used to potatoes smelling more like ground.
Exactly.
Right.
It is.
You really hit the nail on the head with that analysis.
It is an unwashed potato. I will mind you, it is unwashed.
Unwashed by ye.
Unwashed by me, but by Trader G.
Oh, Trader Joe's. See,
They might have washed it. But I'm almost
That's
positive.
so like them.
It's
That's really sounds like
such a
something they would
Trader
do.
Joe's.
You guys have a pretty long-lasting beef with Trader Joe, correct?
Yeah. Everybody knows that about the Nadauld sisters.
We had a
Our
great
beef with Trader
experience
Joe's.
though here.
I know, we really did have a great experience. I had my first experience at
Everybody
Trader
was
Joe's here in
so
Chicago.
nice.
There's no Trader Joe's in Idaho Falls.
That is
Or is there?
absolutely nutty to hear.
That's so wacky.
Trader Joe's is my grocery store of choice.
Yeah,
Is
speaking
there
of
one in
nutty.
Idaho Falls?
No,
Might be
there's
wrong.
one in Salt Lake City. That's closest.
Okay.
Wait, how close are you to Salt Lake City?
About
3
4
hours.
hours.
Oh, 4 hours.
Oh.
Here you go.
Wow, so equidistant to Boise.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
I would like to put something up for us to do. I just picked off one of the, I don't know if you call them warts, but one of the warts off the potato, and there's a smell coming out of that hole, and I'd love to pass it around again and see if you guys get a little bit more of that potato smell. Anthony, I haven't heard your thoughts on the just regular outside of the potato. Any feelings?
Yeah, it has an interesting kind of smell. It doesn't have necessarily a lot of dirt. It just smells like the skin of a potato really heavily. And it's not necessarily very good. It's like musty and it's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
unappetizing.
Oh no, it's gorgeous.
I kind of get the freshness of the potato. There's like a moist, like inner smell that I get out of it.
Especially
that
underneath this wart.
Ooh,
This wart right
yeah, pick that wart and put your sniffer on that wart. Oh yeah. You know, I have another.
That smell is unpleasant. It's coming from the wart.
Yeah. It
What am I
just-
smelling here? It's like
metallic, it's
You're smelling the oxidation
like,
of the potato. It's browning up right now
Remember-
as we speak.
Remember Furbies?
Yes.
It's like when the Furbies used to get too hot, that burnt plastic smell from all of our childhoods. We all
Oh,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah, Furby stuck in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Please don't leave your Furbies in a locked car alone in the summer, guys. If you're hot, they are too.
And don't leave them on too long. That was my big mistake with my Furby.
All right, so this potato is a rousing smell. I think we can all agree that this is one of the most exciting smells
Simply
we've ever
rousing.
smelled.
Underneath the wart, it smells like a handful of worms.
Oh, good lord! You know, I have another smell for you all. Potato was something that I wanted to do as a joke. You know, Idaho potato, haha, very funny. It's it's the same thing, but I've come up with an even funnier joke for this smell
my
segment.
gosh.
And follow me on this one, okay? This is a Boise smell, and it's I wanted to evoke the smell of middle school. You know, something that we all are very familiar with. We all went to middle school, I assume. And we all sat around we all went to gym class, right? And we all passed the locker rooms in middle school, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So follow me on this one. This is the smell of a Boise locker room.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
I have sprayed some.
Wait. Don't say what. Well, don't say the product name, but don't tell us the flavor either.
Right. Okay. So I have sprayed for you all a brand of spray deodorant that is named after a tool that cuts down trees. And if I can't get any more obvious than that,
Be any
then,
more clear.
Spraying a little chainsaw in the room.
now I have sprayed this in the room in the middle of the table. Camden, our sound engineer, is coughing in a toxic fit. What do you all smell out of this? It definitely brings me back to sixth grade in the boys' locker room when I was insecure.
Can I tell you what I smell? One time, our brother had
Oh,
his BB
yeah.
gun in his room, and he was just shooting it in the room, and he shot his can of spray, the one that can I name it?
Thank
No,
you.
you cannot- you
but
cannot name it.
What if I said my favorite line in the Lord of the Rings Two Towers is "and my"? That has nothing to do with this, but
Isn't that in Fellowship? I think it's iconically in the Fellowship.
all right, leave me alone. Your brother shoots a can.
Yeah, he shot the can and it exploded, and the smell was pretty toxic. It was all over the place, and that's what this
We were
reminds me of.
absolutely drowned in this smell.
Your entire
while.
house
Yes.
was?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well, just imagine
unbearable.
you
Just
just
a
sprayed. You
nightmare.
just did a little tiny spray.
I did a spritz of this
You did a
stuff,
spritz.
and it is pungent
I
in
hate
this
to
room.
I hate to drop this reveal, but that used to be my scent.
Whoa!
That used to be what I would smell like walking the halls at Albany Academy
You know,
for Boys.
I don't think that this smells bad. Is that crazy?
Uh-oh.
No, it smells good. It smells good in small doses, but it there's not really a clean way to get a small dose of it.
Yeah, I think my
It's
problem
strong,
with it.
but it's not bad.
Yeah, it's that it smells like a product. Like it smells like if you opened a box and this smell came out, I wouldn't be mad at that. It's just I don't want my body, like a human body, to smell. Like
And
that.
also, just like the target demo for this product is a group of young men, young people who just spray themselves instead of taking showers.
It's a
That's
group
true.
of young men who say that they have sex and are many, many years away from.
Was double
Once again,
pits-
Anthony did wear this.
Well, we all wore this. Not this particular scent, but like I wore Phoenix, baby.
Yes, we all wore this.
Yes, I remember
Yeah, you
when
guys,
I wore this.
You sprayed down.
Yeah, we sprayed.
We
down.
sprayed
big
down.
time.
Tim, you were dropping a commercial reference.
Yeah, is double pits to chesty this brand of,
Yeah,
of deodorant?
that is.
It's not Bod Man.
No, it's double pits to chesty. That's this product.
Hell yeah.
Ah,
You
cool.
know, a
You ever
high
do-
flying motorcycle stunt.
yeah, y'all ever do the double pits to double pits to chesty?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, the double pits to chesty?
yeah,
Oh,
that's a hard one to
please,
pull
Don't
off.
get
Sure.
it started.
So, because of that commercial, for years I've been putting stick deodorant on my chest, and I recently had somebody react oddly to that. I was like, I didn't realize I wasn't supposed to do that.
I don't think that's weird.
I think it's really bad for your like pores and stuff. It just clogs them up and gives you chestney.
No, it doesn't.
So
I
you-
can tell you, I've got a clean ass chest except for my half blonde chest hair.
Show Taylor.
Yeah, that's a look. Okay.
Okay.
Some of it is blonde. Do you
Yeah.
think that blonde
I have
came
one
from
blonde
the
pit.
You have a blonde pit?
Yeah, it's all tied to this pigmentia thing that I have.
Actually,
that has a little dot of blonde on
I
the
saw
back of my
that
head.
blonde pit in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood just recently.
Oh my god!
Nice.
All right, we're gonna have to figure out something to rate
let's-
my segment.
Let's spray some of that on this potato and then get a full sense of Idaho.
No.
I mean, okay, sure.
While you're doing that, I'd like to suggest maybe a ranking system. Every episode, Nadauld Sisters, we come up with a themed ranking system for our segments. And this time, I think there's only one option. I think, oh God. Don't stop
it's
doing it
wet.
so close to the fucking my face.
This is a wet potato now.
He sprayed that right into the wart, like deep into it too. Oh,
Now it truly smells like a teenage boy that doesn't
Oh,
shower and
God.
just sprays down.
Yeah.
in Idaho.
In concentration, that is a truly messed up smell.
The alcohol of it really comes out.
Yeah.
It really stings your face.
Hmm.
Don't get it in your eyes.
Camden liked it. Yummy.
Camden's reaching for that bag of prime rib potato
Can I
chips.
pass?
Guys, is it crazy that I'm reaching for the baked again?
No,
No,
I
go
don't.
into 'em.
Yeah, okay, well, actually, that's a really good. That's a really
It's in
good
my
idea.
frozen.
Out of the 65 percentages of less fat from that baked potato chip, how many individual percentages are you going to give me in the representation of Idaho in my smells?
That being the perfect score, 65 out of 65 percentage points. Or, less than that.
I was wondering what the spray had to do with Idaho specifically, but
It's
you did capture the suburbia.
It's a Boise locker room.
Okay. See that? I'm trying to help you out here. I think I think it did capture suburban life. And that coupled with the
captured our
potato reminded
brother's
me of
room.
Idaho.
Mm.
It really captured my brother's room.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it really took me back.
Yeah.
So out of 65 reduced fat percentages, how many will you give me?
I'm going to give you 45 out of 65.
Wow.
But wait, we have two guests. Should we get scores from both and average them?
Yes.
I'm going to give it a 45 out of 65.
Wow. I have an average of 45 percentages.
Hold on, Tim. Let me do the math on that.
Let's play a game
you
where
don't
we
need
guess
to.
who said what.
Because you know what you could have done, Tim? You could have brought like a trout or something. Or like some river water.
I could have brought a trout. You are totally right,
So
Taylor.
that's why I deducted the 20 points.
Maybe
But-
some mosquito repellent.
yeah, some DEET. That would have been good.
Oh, that is okay. The body spray company that is a tool to chop down trees. Y'all should make a spray that is a mosquito repellent as well.
I think that one would probably work.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have achieved a 45 out of 65 low fat percentages of a baked potato lay, and
Clay Aikens.
good Lord, I'm proud of it. But we're gonna move on to our next regular segment, where we listen to the sounds that Idaho has to offer, and I believe Stuart has prepared for us an audio presentation.
Hey, everybody. That's right. I did prepare an audio segment for Idaho, but before we get into it, guys, let's be honest. Not a lot of musical artists come from Idaho.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
I'm really excited to hear what you came up with.
No, not what. Well, with that being said, I do think I managed to find a couple of really, really fun ones. So, with that said, Camden, take that bass line for a walk.
The audio segment.
This is smooth, Stu. This is smooth stand-up bass.
What do we got here?
Oh, you guys didn't recognize it? Well, of course, that's famed American double bass player Gary Peacock.
Oh, Gary Peacock.
Oh, Gary Peacock. Okay.
Right, yeah, of course. This guy is over 80 years old, but he's still touring, and he's from Burley, Idaho.
Burley.
We've got some
Yeah,
friends in
Burley
Burley.
friends.
Where's Burley at
Shout out to the Polsons.
in comparison to Idaho Falls?
It's like 2 hours away or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty dang close.
So you guys grew up pretty close to my boy Gary Peacock.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Gary
Gary and
Peacock?
I go way
Yeah,
back.
don't even get me started.
Sure. And I'm sure you've heard this before. It's, of course, from the opening of his Learn to Play Double Bass VHS tape set.
Sick.
And the tape is, of course, called Ways of the Bass. And no, Anthony, that's not the name of Skrillex's church.
Nice.
So he's known for his smooth licks and avant-garde style, which spawned after his brief departure from music to study the art of Zen in Asia. Do you guys remember when he left Idaho to go over there and study the ways of Eastern culture?
Who could forget? When Gary left, I think
Burley changed.
Burley really was never the same.
Yeah. Well, his great successes came, of course, and you guys know it. You can say it with me. The Standards
Standards
Trio,
Trio.
which released the
Yes.
now seminal jazz albums, Standards Volume 1, Standards Volume 2, and, of course, Standards Live.
Hey, is your next sound clip going to be a cricket chirping?
Honestly, maybe it will be. You want to play the next one?
There's a world where we don't have to run, and maybe
Call 911 now!
Of course, that's Idaho native Tom Pace, and that's Tom spelled TH.
Of course.
I kind of really liked that, honestly. I'm going to
That
go
was
listen
nice.
to some more.
Yeah, it was
but-
nice.
It sounded pretty nice, and it's because it was used as the theme for the 70s Grizzly Adams TV movie.
Oh,
Of
right.
course it was.
Okay.
So it's like easy listening, and of course, we've all seen that movie. Taylor?
Of course.
We've
Taylor?
all seen it, Taylor.
Taylor?
Yeah. We've all seen it.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh, the grizzly bear.
Well, Tom Pace is a singer-songwriter from Boise, Idaho. And as far as I know, he has no connection to actor Lee Pace.
Oh,
So
Damn.
any Pushing Daisies fans, calm down.
missed connections.
Tom is best known for his work composing film scores and TV themes in the 70s, like I said, the Grizzly Adams movie. And
Love that movie.
right. And your favorite character was
The grizzly bear.
That's right. You might think he stopped working long ago, but his latest commercially released album was in 2018, and it was called Come Down Hard, parentheses, Youth Rising.
Yikes.
Well, hold on. That's Tom Pace you're talking
That's
about.
a yikes alert.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys have any knowledge of him? He's one of the first people to come up when you Google like famous people from Idaho. So
Are you serious?
yeah,
I don't know. I'm waiting for you to play a certain band. There's one band that I could think of. Uh-oh. His face is telling me there's no bands on this list.
I mean, not in the classical sense of a group of musicians playing music.
Oh, okay.
Who were you thinking of?
Well, now I can't remember their name.
And honestly, they'll probably be in the noticeable mentions at the end of the segment. But until then,
They got some good stuff. I should look. but-
Everyone remembers the name Tom Pace.
Tom Pace. Well, let's pick up the pace and go on to the next segment.
A cold blast from the north. It freezes Congress in their tracks.
Listen.
With God and the Tea Party, she's gonna take it back. Sarah Palin, she gonna listen to
Oh, okay. I went to the same college as Sarah Palin.
That's right. Sarah Palin is an Idaho native. She was born in Sandpoint, Idaho. And after she left as a kid, she came back to go to North Idaho Community College. And then
Woo! Go Cardinals.
Go Cardinals! Do you guys feel literally, other than the
I'm going
college
back.
connection, do you feel literally any connection to Sarah Palin as an Idaho
No.
local?
Absolutely not. I did when I was there. I heard that she went to the school, but I think of her as an Alaska gal.
Yeah.
Mm.
I have connections to Sandpoint, though.
Oh.
Got friends there. Mackay and Bolana.
Yeah, Sandpoint
What's
is
up,
fun.
guys?
A lot of shout outs to Native in this podcast. You know,
Oh,
you guys have a
yeah.
lot of friends from your home state.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well, everybody knows each other in Idaho.
Is that true?
In all of
Sure,
Idaho.
Yeah.
Feels like you guys didn't know Tom Pace that well.
Tom, Gary, Jacob
Gary.
Burton.
Sure. All and the
Gary's
rest.
Peas cock.
His name is Gary Peacock.
Hey, that song was awful. I just want to say.
Yeah. Well, the audio was from a 2-year-old, a couple of very old folks in a church singing this fun and threatening thing called the Sarah Palin Battle Hymn.
What
So-
the hell?
Yeah, I don't
Wait,
know.
2 years ago?
Yeah, I don't know.
What the hell was what brought that
I think
on?
somebody found this footage in a basement and went, "This has to see the light of day."
No. Well, you know, in a different world, Sarah Palin would have been our president.
Would she?
Yeah.
In a different world.
By definition, in a different world.
A different world.
Guys, you know it would have been great.
In the multiverse, if the multiverse theory holds true, she is president currently in
Whoa.
some world.
Actually?
Okay, I was going to talk
Yeah.
about something completely different.
Okay.
Oh, what was it?
I was going to say something great would have been Katie Jo Collister, who is a musician in Idaho,
Oh, yeah.
who is
That would've
really,
been good.
really good.
Well, we don't. He's not done yet.
Hold on. My segment's not done.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to play her next.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
What if he did?
Oh,
You know-
that would be so. That would be.
Being so close to Stuart in the microphone, I'm able to see all of his notes on his phone. I guarantee that this is not leading to that.
Yeah, probably not. And actually, just like Sarah Palin's book Going Rogue sold more than 2 million copies, I'm about to go rogue on this and play a song not from an Idaho native. But let's figure it out.
Careful what you say, you'll give yourself away. The odds are you won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man.
Okay, I'm a little confused. No, we listened to a
I'm
lot
also
of this
confused.
song.
Yes, we listened to a good clip of a cover of Secret Agent Man by some breathy male singer. But wait a minute, was that Bruce Willis?
What the fuck?
Yes, that's from
Bruce.
That is from Bruce Willis's debut album, The Return of Bruno from the 80s, Secret Agent Man, of course, a classic. You guys might be asking yourselves, why are we listening to Bruce Willis play anything at all? I don't like him. Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but in the late 90s, mid-90s, when Bruce Willis was one of the biggest people in the world, and he was married to his wife, Demi Moore, they essentially bought an entire town in Idaho called Haley, Idaho.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
Haley.
So
Really?
until just a few months ago, Bruce Willis owned half the shops in that place and all the property.
Oh wait, is that close to Sun Valley? Because I think I did know that Demi Moore had
Yeah.
some kind of relation to that.
That's the Haley that Eminem's always rapping about, right?
And just like that, Haley, she grew up so fast. In the 90s, this place was a haven for bougie movie stars. They would come out and shop at Bruce's shops. There was even a large doll museum for Demi Moore's giant collection of realistic child dolls.
That's terrifying.
why.
Who has a giant collection of wife dolls?
Demi Moore, I guess. Well, a few years ago, long after the couple's divorce, Bruce randomly shut down all the businesses and started trying to build an airport nearby. And this man is a state hazard. You should keep him out of Idaho. But unfortunately, he's practically a citizen. So I want to ask you guys your connections to Bruce Willis and maybe your favorite Bruce Willis movie.
Well, first of all, Bruce, we do welcome you to the state of Idaho.
Wow.
I truly
Bruce
have no
Willis?
connections to Bruce.
Yeah, I don't
Willis.
have any
Yeah.
connections.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Can we play the song again? Because when I listen to that, I do not hear Bruce Willis at all.
Really get into the chorus because it is so poorly sung.
Careful what you say, you'll give yourself away.
I hear it. I hear Bruce in there.
Why is this album called The Return of Bruno? Is it a Sacha Baron Cohen movie?
Bruno is actually, it was his stage name. It was sort of his AKA when he did music because he didn't want to, if it didn't work, he didn't want to be known as Bruce Willis, the failed musician.
Dude, that's really cool.
Anthony, you might not love Bruce Willis, and that's understandable. But the next music, I think you have a personal connection
I'm a
to.
diehard fan of Bruce Willis.
Just play it.
Face-side swipes, the Western promises. Bodies fall from the rusted temples.
What the heck?
You didn't recognize that immediately? Well, it's called "Safe in the Car," and it's the first single off Pearl Jam bassist Jeff Ament's solo album "Heaven/Hell."
Safe in the car, just like Joe Rogan when he's waiting for his friend Jacob to finish up at the campfire.
All right, now
Jacob's become such a big part of this.
he's huge. Jacob, we want you to have you on our Idaho 2 podcast. But you guys are probably wondering, Pearl Jam, totally not from Idaho. This makes no sense.
I'm so confused.
You read my mind.
let me explain it. We can all agree, everyone at this table, that heaven is way up in the sky in terms of altitude.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And hell is very deep underground, very low.
Sure.
Well, Idaho has a heaven/hell of its own, just like Jeff Ament's album, Heaven/Hell. You see, Idaho features America's deepest river gorge at nearly 8,000 feet deep, Hell's Canyon, and of course, rising to the sky at an altitude of 8,400 feet, the well-known tourist sightseeing destination, the Heaven's Gate Overlook. Whoa! A heaven and a hell inside the state. Pretty cool, huh?
I'm pretty sick, actually.
Damn, dude.
I used to live right next to Lewiston, and it actually is pretty sickening.
It is sickening. I've seen it. I didn't live by Lewiston.
Is
but
close to which of these landmarks? Heaven's Gate or Hell's Canyon?
Hell's Canyon.
Stu, you stretch like an Olympic athlete warming up. Oh my God,
I stretch like Mr. Fantastic, all right? With those two places,
it's been a nightmare.
A sort of altitude-based metaphor emerges, linking Pearl Jam's bassist, Jeff Ament, and his album Heaven Hell to your guys' home state of Idaho. And isn't that crazy? We have two bassists on the top 5.
Whoa.
Gary
my
Peacock and
gosh.
Jeff Ament.
Wow.
Can I ask, though, when you were trying to figure out what you were going to play,
Yeah.
were you just researching things about Idaho, or were you looking for people from Idaho and then somebody else
We're
had
just researching bassists, and then
So I love bassists to start off. I'm a huge bass head. And once I got Gary Peacock, I just went wild on Idaho. But some alternate, there are other people from Idaho. I just went with the biggest names. So honorable mentions, we have the alt-punk band Nurses, musical cartoonist Dane Darcy, or American yodeler Carrie Christensen.
you gotta love Carrie.
Exactly.
Slim
So
Pickens.
exactly. I want to know, who was it on the list that there was a band you were thinking of?
Katie Jo Collister.
Oh, okay.
She's
one of the biggest artists coming out of Idaho.
She is.
I want to see.
She's recently changed
other
her
band I
stage
was
name to Azure Eiler, and we're actually in a band together. I'm a bassist
Wow.
Wait.
another Idaho
What?
in our band.
Wait, you are a bassist in a band with...
Katie Jo Collister.
Holy shit. I almost... so you know a lot about bass, right? And playing it.
Guys, my
no,
latest.
I don't really play it.
My latest Google search is Joe Rogan married? Because I need to know. He is.
Well, guys, that's kind of reached the end of my segment.
Okay.
I figured maybe we could call up Jeff Ament, but I kind of feel like we have a better bassist in the studio with Morgan.
Yeah, we wouldn't
I
wanna
really don't
embarrass
play
him.
the bass. I played in this band, but I really don't know how to play the bass.
That's okay.
They're amazing. They really are amazing. And I couldn't
We
find.
won
I couldn't find
second
that other
place
Idaho band.
in Battle of the Bands.
Did you really? This
We
is
lost
a real
to my good
thing.
friend Miles.
This is real.
What's
This is real.
Miles' band name?
Oh,
School
he's
of
in
Rock?
so many bands.
The School of Rock, and we shall
So
teach rock
and roll
to the world.
There's no
Way you can stop. The School of Rock.
Well, with that piece of audio, I think we've reached the end of my segment. So, guys, out of 65 potato percentage points, how would you rank these 5 audio pieces? Also, you singing is my extra 6, so I get points off of that as well. So, and keep that in mind. Out of 65, what percentage do I get?
I'm gonna say 64.
Oh my God! Why? What? Yeah. What?
I'm gonna give it a 45. Like I
Whoa!
gave to Tim.
Okay, so my average, and I'm doing the math up in my head. Beep, boop, bop, beep, beep, beep.
I am so excited for what I see right now.
54.5. Thank you, Anthony. So far, I'm the highest ranked statesman at the table.
Well, Stuart, congratulations on your average of 54.5 percentage points of reduced fat of a Lay's potato chip that was baked. I have another baked potato for you.
Clay Aiken's Baked Lays.
Thank you, Taylor. Okay, so that was Stuart's sound segment, and riveting as always, Stuart. You really have jumped your money this time.
I've jumped something, the shark.
And so we're going to move on to our next regular segment, the taste segment, which is, again, a segment that I am, as the elder statesman, permanently and forever in charge of. And for today's taste segment, I have prepared for you all 4 baked potatoes.
I am so excited for this.
Now, what is a baked potato without its fixins? You know? That's why during this taste segment, we're going to be creating our own loaded potatoes. So they are freshly out of the oven. I literally just took them out. So they are incredibly hot potatoes. And
Whoa.
Anthony? Anthony has just touched the potato and has confirmed that they're not all that hot.
No, they're hot.
Oh,
they're
okay.
extremely hot. I burned my fingers. I was just trying to look cool.
Okay, so I have passed.
And he did.
Yeah.
I have passed plates around. We only have 4 potatoes and we have 6 people around the table, so we're gonna have to share.
Tim, we're sharing a mic. We should probably share a spud.
And I'm totally down to share Spud with you, Stu. So with our fixins, I have prepared for you all some salt, some black peppers, some cheddar cheese that was shredded, some chive, and I also have some uncut green onion, but I don't think we're going to be able to get that on our potato without any knife. Oh, I also have sour cream at the table as well.
Morgan is a huge sour cream fan.
Stu, you seem to be having trouble cutting that potato open. Now,
Oh, that's a raw potato.
I just want to say that and preface that I have never cooked a baked potato in my entire
You
life.
are kidding me.
And you still haven't.
It's raw?
Yeah, you did. Did you wrap these in tinfoil at all?
The website told me that I didn't have to.
How exactly did you cook these?
I put them in the oven at 350 degrees for 1 hour.
Oh, no.
No.
You're fucking
Mistake.
kidding me.
Look, the best way to bake a potato is to just wrap.
Microwave
okay,
it.
You stab it, you put it in a wet
Did you
paper
stab
towel,
these?
and you microwave it.
I did stab them so that steam would escape during the cooking process and they wouldn't explode in the
You
oven.
just need to microwave those. You have a microwave here?
We do have them. Is it going to take very long, you think?
No way.
Maybe 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Wow. 7 minutes we absolutely do not have
Hey,
either.
we could go back and redo my game.
Oh, man. Well, we're going to have to eat at least a little bit of this potato.
Yeah, let's have
Hey,
a
with all the toppings, you'll hardly notice.
I'm not gonna pretend I've never eaten a raw potato before.
Oh, yeah, we've all done it.
I've never eaten raw potato, although my science teacher, Mrs. Mooseman, ate a raw potato once in demonstrating that you shouldn't always believe what you see.
Mrs. Mooseman.
Mrs.
Back
Mooseman,
again.
Mrs. Mooseman, my 6th grade science teacher, great science teacher. She was very, very funny and wacky. But the first day of her science class, the first day of middle school, she carved a potato into a candle, lit it with the wick, and then proceeded to eat the potato. And we all thought it was a little waxy candle, but lo, it was not. Well, Stu,
see
you've
what we
done a
got
great
here.
job at passing around these uncooked baked potatoes. Guys, I'm so sorry.
Tim, don't be sorry. This podcast is all about exploration and discovery, and what we've discovered is a wrong way to cook a potato.
That's true.
This part's really actually soft right here.
Okay, so the
So-
edges
Did
are
it.
soft. It's only the
Put some cheese on this before it gets too cold.
it's only
Sour
the
cream
center.
on it.
But I did oil and salt the potato outside, so perhaps those will be good potato skins.
Yum yum.
I love a potato.
I just put a big pat of butter right on top of mine. I'm letting it melt down. If anybody wants
That's
to
it
soften it up.
That's a really
Health
good
Week.
idea.
Health Week be damned, apparently.
Yeah, sorry. This is a loaded potato, all right. Well, it doesn't have any bacon on it.
Fucking gross.
I took way too much butter, as somebody once. This was a problem.
Took about a tablespoon of butter.
Yeah, this was a fat tablespoon.
Looking at Anthony, Tim, and I, it looks like we've never even heard of a baked potato before. Like we're all
It's
really not.
crazy.
I have butter. I don't want you. Oh, come on.
Guys, let me give you a little baked potato tip.
Okay.
When I was living in a home with no money and I was, by myself, I had just moved out and all we had were potatoes, I would just microwave them, melt some butter in a little thing, put some garlic salt in it, and then just dip the potato in it and eat it like an apple.
That is good.
Like an apple.
Like an apple.
And it's quick, it's easy, it's fun, it's cheap.
Is it really fun?
Oh, it's fun.
It's interactive.
All right. Well, I think a few of us have gotten bites of the potato, or at least the edges of the potato, and looking around the room, how are our tongues tasting this potato? Is it delicious? Does it remind you of Idaho?
No.
Is this a real Idaho potato?
Yes.
Are you lying to me?
No.
I have taken a bite.
I know
what I
that-
did,
oh.
I'm so sorry, Taylor. I cut off like a small sliver of the cooked part of the outside of the potato, and then I made like a little, like fully stuffed area, like with sour cream and butter and cheese, and then I dipped that part in there. Went for the bite. Didn't work, actually. Didn't work. The cheese, too cold.
You cut off a little corner. You also cut off our guest. What were you saying? I was interested in listening.
Thank you, Anthony. The skin on this potato is a little undercooked. But you know, I'm enjoying it. Am I crazy for saying that, Morgan?
I'm enjoying it.
Maybe I just love potatoes. So
Yeah, you just
thank you
can't go
so
wrong.
much for baking these for us.
You-
I'm actually
Thank you.
like happy about this.
I mean, I tried to bake them. I really just put them in a hot oven.
Like
It
I'm
really
actually
seems-
eating this, so
Okay.
I feel
Me too, I'm
okay
eating it.
about it.
All
Give it a
right.
45 out of 65.
Whoa!
God damn.
Wow. Okay.
Consistent.
Anthony Stewart, what do you think about my baked potato?
I barely prepared mine at all because the toppings are all so far away from me. But I heaped some butter on top of it, and then I slapped some sour cream on my plate. The sour cream hitting a little different today. It's especially sour.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
baby.
it's just my mood. This potato is the rawest potato I've ever eaten in my life.
pretty
But-
easily.
But when you put this many toppings on anything,
It's pretty good.
it's pretty good. Now, would you pass me some of those chives? Because I want to keep calm and chive on.
Fuck you. This potato is not cooked, so I have a hard time judging it as a baked potato. And as sorry, I'm swallowing some dry potato. As nice as the Nadauld sisters have been to them, I have to say this is not super successful. However, I do think you got all the right toppings, which is a good first step.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But so if I were to fix my baked potato, I would basically just have to wrap this thing in tin foil, 350 in the oven for about an hour. Is that right?
Well, like I think you should just microwave it. Why not microwave? Do you have
Microwaving
something
it
against that?
is. I personally like it when it's just like nice and soft,
Mhm.
and the skin gets like a little bit like chewy in the microwave. That's what I like. When you bake it, it's just a little bit different. I mean, it's still
And
good.
it
It's a
just tastes
potato.
longer. The other end of my potato is also soft, so
Ooh.
maybe I'll give it a 46.
Whoa. Morgan?
I can go 46.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Nice.
I've averaged 46 out of 65 percentages of a low-fat baked potato Lay's chip.
Congratulations. And Tim, you put work into this one, all right? Sometimes you're a couch potato. Not this one, buddy.
All
No.
the toppings that.
God.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Say it ain't so, Tim.
It's a potato.
Oh man.
Turn the oven on.
I'm gonna spray in your mouth, Anthony.
You said the name.
Hand me my. Well, okay, so I got 45 out of 65 percentages again of a Lay's baked potato chip. So we're gonna move on to our next regular segment where we explore the state of Idaho with our lookers. So I'm gonna pass the old MacBook to myself because I'm gonna be controlling it for this one. And Anthony, you're not gonna get your hands on it, but Anthony, why don't you take it away?
Thank you, Tim.
There is so much food on the table right now.
She left sour cream by the stairs. All right.
Oh man.
Tim once again is making me move on faster than I'd like to. I think we could crack this song parody, but
Yeah.
but fine. Let's move on and check out Idaho with our eyes, though. Here we have Idaho, the state name. Very cool. Here we have the state outline. What do you guys think that looks like? I think it looks like a hand giving you the middle finger.
It looks like a gun
Sure.
to me.
Gun.
They
Yeah,
also
gun.
call it Montana's pillow. I've heard it said.
Ah, okay, that's nice.
There's a guy that lives in Idaho. I don't know who he is, but I see him all the time. He drives a big truck, and he has a sticker on the window, and he must be a dentist because it's in the shape of like a dentist drill. So that's kind of what it always looks like to me.
I thought it was going to be like a tooth, like a fang.
Yeah, hold on. You're saying that the outline of the state looks like a dentist's drill?
That's what I think of when I see it because of the guy that lives close to me that's always driving the truck in front of me.
He's always driving that truck in front of me. Can I ask you guys, do you see this like inverted face over here?
I was gonna say that inverted face against the eastern side of the outline is very prominent.
Very interesting because when I showed you the state outline of that state, no one saw the face.
Oh.
Interesting how that happens. Now, I think this state looks like an axe.
Oh.
Where the hilt is on the long side, and then the hatchet portion is on the
You're so
the bottom.
right.
You should have mentioned that during our smelling.
Well, you
portion.
can always amend your scores.
Don't.
I didn't know those. I didn't know that was part of the rules.
Any other thoughts on what the state outline looks like, y'all?
I don't know.
I
think
don't
we
have
got
any
it.
other thoughts on
It's a
it.
den-
Let's
Dentist
move on.
drill.
We have a dense flag here. It is one of the blue background plus state seal flags. Yawn. But this is a dense
Oh my
state
God.
seal. Here we have a woman, which is the symbol of justice, and a miner, ER, Stu, representing the state's chief industry, mining. They're flanking a shield that has a pine tree, the Shoshone River, and a mountain with a figure plowing the field. Under the shield, there's wheat to represent agriculture, cornucopias to represent horticulture, and an elk's head on top of the shield, representing their kinship with wildlife. There's also a banner with the Latin motto, Esto Perpetua, which means it is forever. And then there's a sprawling banner that says, State of Idaho. Guys, what do you think of this crowded, weird state flag?
They say this is one of the worst state flags
What?
ever
Who said
made.
that? Who said that?
They say that.
I
I've definitely
I like
heard that
it.
on multiple occasions.
I like it.
Just because there is so much going on and it's so small, you really can't tell what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Taylor, why do you like it?
I guess I'm just a big Idaho fan. I don't want to see
Oh, I
it.
like it. I'm not one of them.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're not one of them.
I am one of them. I think this truly is an ugly flag. It says Idaho. It says state of Idaho on it twice. That's
true,
fucked
it
up. That is truly
That
fucked
is
up.
2 more times than I need it to be on the flag. The point of a flag is to be representative, damn it, not literal.
And I've talked a lot about portholes when it comes to seals, and this porthole has 2 portholes. One on the exterior of the flag where you can look in and see, the miner, Stu, it's ER, and Lady Justice. But then there's also another porthole which is shaped in like a highway symbol kind of thing,
Like a coat of arms.
like a coat of arms. And I don't know, 2 portholes in one flag, y'all.
I
2
like the
portholes, 2
small one
Idahos?
because it kind of looks like the view from our front yard, across the street from the potato
I like the
field.
symbolism of the elk head. I also like that it has 2 portholes and that it says state of Idaho twice.
Let me
Something about that.
let me ask you guys, do you think the stuff inside of the seal in terms of like the cornucopias, the Lady Justice, the farming, the mountains, the deer head, the miner, is that OR?
No, it's ER, Stu.
Damn. Do you guys think those do a good job of representing the state?
Yeah.
The cornucopia kind of makes me think like New England territory.
It makes me think of like the pioneers.
Oh, yeah.
So that's basically my thoughts on this flag.
So, a kind of a clunker of a flag. Let's move on and see if the other state symbols
The
are
mountain
a little...
bluebird.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mountain
nice.
Bluebird.
Thank
Wow.
you.
I don't have a slide of the mountain dewbird on this one, y'all. Sorry, I forgot to include it.
A joke that should have stayed buried. So we're looking at this gorgeous mountain bluebird right now. Taylor, you picked it out immediately. Do you see a lot of these in Idaho?
I actually don't. I think I've seen like one ever at Craters of the Moon or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I
Wait,
always
whoa.
ask why.
Whoa,
We'll get
whoa.
there, don't worry.
Okay, Craters
okay.
of the Moon.
Sorry.
Never mind. Sorry, Taylor.
Yeah, I haven't seen it around much. I always ask, why is this the state bird? Because really, I've never.
We also
Pretty bird,
ask
though.
ourselves that every single episode of this, and we still have not gotten to the bottom of it. But Morgan, what do you think about this bird?
This bird reminds me of Grandma Colleen.
Aw.
Yeah.
Another shout out.
Shout out.
Grandma Colleen.
Shout out to Gma.
Well, it's a beautiful
Spy G.
sky blue coat, and it kind of mixes in with its white belly to create this nice periwinkle. I don't know. I think this is
Yeah.
like one of the most
gorgeous.
beautiful birds we've seen.
I think
Oh my
he's
God.
cute.
It looks like the mountains.
Mm.
The beautiful blue mountain across the street from the potato field.
So
Yes.
perhaps it represents Idaho in a little less literal sense. It's more figurative and abstract.
Ooh la la. Yes, please.
Very cool. Well, let's check out the state flower,
The syringa, baby.
Whoa.
syringa.
Dang, Taylor,
Taylor knows
getting
a lot
all of them.
Idaho state facts.
I like Idaho.
So this this flower is a little basic to me. It's just it's one of those ones that looks like an egg. It has
One of them
There's
egg flowers. Yeah.
white petals and a yellow stamen situation exploding out of there like a yellow firework.
Mhm.
It's simple. It's elegant.
Yes.
It's Idaho.
Oh, I completely agree. I love it.
Could you say those things about the state flag as well? Simple, elegant Idaho.
It's definitely
No.
not simple.
You really
They're different, but Idaho's complex.
This flower, do you see it around a lot? Is it a pretty common?
It's pretty common out in the wilderness. Out in the wildies.
And the wilderness is pretty common.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd say it's pretty common.
Now, you said wildy.
Let's just move on.
Will de or won't de?
Okay.
Tim got excited because he thought you were talking about
Gorgeous.
RuneScape.
Now this is Boise. I lived here for 3 months.
Taylor works
With
right in
my
the
friend
Capitol building
Mitchell
there.
Clement. Shout out.
Mitchell, what is up?
More shout outs. Let's start taking a shot for every Idaho shout
A
out.
shot of
Should we call it
potato,
on the
baby.
shout-outs? Boise. Yeah, I used
Yeah.
to work there at the Capitol building.
Yeah, so this is Boise. That's the state capitol building right there, the little classic domed Vatican looking one. But we have a busy street, cars racing back and forth. And then we have mountain ranges in the background. Gorgeous.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
with all those mountain ranges, this looks a little bit like Salt Lake City to me. That's surrounded by mountains,
It does
kind
kind
of
of have
idea.
the Salt Lake vibes.
So how much time have you guys spent in this gorgeous city?
Well, like I said, I lived there for 3 months. That's the most time I've spent there. They have a really good pizza place called Pie Hole that I love.
I really was only ever there visiting Taylor, so. But
Yeah.
go ahead, talk about Pie Hole.
Is Pie Hole? I'm very interested about United States pizza from the East Coast to the West Coast to
Yes.
the Midwest. Does Idaho have like a specific pizza genre to
No,
it?
but they do have this one pizza place here in Boise called Pie Hole, and you walk in and it's really cool, like just covered head to toe in stickers,
Mhm.
and they just give you like this cheap pizza, and it's really good.
Is
Is
it like
it-
a thin slice?
Yeah.
Is it like a fat slice?
It's like a thin slice, kind of like New York style, I guess. a
Triangular
little bit.
cut.
Triangular cut, baby.
Toppings, cheese, bread,
Yes, yeah.
baked in an oven.
The whole bit.
Have you guys been to Pie Hole?
Do you have anything else to say about this? Oh, wait. There's a nice little road going through here. Perhaps this is a highway of some sort?
I used to walk that road every day. I lived like right past where it cuts off there.
What
on-
street? What
to the
street
right.
is it?
State Street.
Oh, this is State Street. Nice.
Hell yeah.
I
Or
assume
maybe
it's
it's
gonna be
Capitol Street.
Statesman
I
Street.
maybe I got that wrong. But I used to live right there where it cuts off, and then I'd walk all the way down to the Capitol
Wow.
and back.
So this is a walk down memory lane for you.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's shut our pie holes and move on to the next slide.
Nice.
All right. Here we have Meridian,
What?
the
Oh,
city
Meridian.
motto, built
Oh.
for business, designed for living.
This
And let me just tell you, that really comes out in this photo. Designed for living.
This looks like a slightly zoomed out picture of the last picture.
That's what I was gonna say. I thought this was
Yeah.
another view of Boise.
Like I think if
But
we
this city is right next to Boise, so
are you sure this isn't
It's
the
different.
same?
No, that one is Meridian. It's just close and it's similar.
But look at these two buildings.
And there's the Capitol right there.
Yeah, it's the Capitol's right there.
No.
All 4 of those
Yeah,
buildings
right
are
here.
exactly
Okay,
the
same
same.
street.
Nope.
We're,
That's the same street with that little thing on the bottom.
these
Well,
buildings are gone,
why
but I
would
think they're
tell
just
you-
behind this.
Let me
Why would
tell
Meridian
you,
have that Capitol building?
This is not my fault. This is Google's fault.
But Meridian's like 20 minutes outside of Boise, so maybe
It is.
Maybe that is Meridian. Maybe they just
They're
You just
far
have
enough.
to zoom
yeah,
out.
you can just
It's a telephoto.
Over the
Yeah.
border.
Yes, guys, we've seen, and I now realize that we've pointed out where the Capitol building is in the photo. It is another picture of Boise, but this
A
is
view of
Google's
Boise
fault.
from Meridian.
This is how your state is represented online.
Incorrect.
show me some more
incorrectly.
cities. I mean, Boise's so basic. Let's
Well-
get to the
Burley.
deep cuts.
Yeah, let's move
Where's
on from
Gary?
Meridian, which we don't even have in the slideshow. It's built for business, designed for living. Now we're moving on to an actually different picture. This is certainly not Boise. This is Nampa.
Oh, Nampa is basically
Nampa.
Boise.
Nampa is.
It's also like
all
20
these big
minutes
ones
outside
are
of
very
Boise.
close to Boise.
Have you guys, this is where the Nampa Nay Nuccaneers play, right?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What is this place?
Nampa is just the third most populous city
Yeah,
in
they're going by the
Idaho.
most populous cities.
It's
They're going down the
just
line. So
the
next it's gonna
suburbs
be
of
next it's gonna
Boise.
be Coeur d'Alene. I'm guessing. Just guessing.
Maybe.
Let's go to the next slide, you guys.
I
Oh,
hope it's
we
Coeur
have nothing
d'Alene.
to say about Nampa? Is
Nampa,
it just
who
boring?
cares?
I have nothing to say. Yeah, really.
It's just boring. it looks super residential. It looks like a big golf course situation almost. Like it's just a lot of like patches of green and sand traps.
You said it. You said it.
Let's play through.
Oh, that's
All right.
Craters of the Moon.
So we're not going to any more cities. We're just moving on to Craters of the Moon National Monument and Preserve. This is located in central Idaho in the Snake River Plain. It was established as a national monument in 1924 and expanded in 2000. It covers over 1,100 square miles total, and it's amazingly well-preserved basalt lava fields.
Well, this is where I saw that mountain bluebird that one time.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, that
shocked.
iconic
you can imagine
story.
the blue against the black rocks.
I'm
here.
shocked you saw any wildlife because this truly does look like the surface of a volcanic moon. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah,
I-
I wanted to ask.
gorgeous.
I never quite understood. Like, are you telling me that below this rock is cheese?
That's what I'm telling you. I don't know how I can be any more clear about that.
This is a moon joke.
Thank you.
It is wild because this is all volcanic lava that rose from the bottom of the ocean and froze over.
Wow.
A lot of people get lost out here, like for good.
Oh yeah. A lot of people disappeared. Were you threatening us?
Yeah, what was
No,
that?
no, I'm just trying
It's
to get
really
some
nothing funny
Craters
about
of the Moon
Craters
facts.
Yeah, and I wish we would stop joking about it. This looks like the most dangerous thing I'd ever lava flows are so sharp. Guys, I was on an island very recently, walked on a lava flow, thought it was going to cut through my chacos. Can you believe that, Morgan?
I can believe it. I really can. Taylor came here one time and she had a broken arm, like she usually does.
Yeah.
What?
Another threat.
Wait,
Had a few broken
just
arms,
had a lot
and
of
I
broken
did do like a hike through this with my broken
She
arm.
she climbed through a cave,
Yeah.
and that was scary.
Wow. How many times have you broken your arm? It
3.
sounds- Wow.
The same
Goddamn.
arm?
No, I broke my right arm once, my left arm twice.
Did it go back and forth?
Yes, it did.
Mm.
I learned how to play Mario Kart on the 64 with one hand when I broke my left hand.
Damn, that's
She's
fucking
really-
rad.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Who's your main?
On Mario Kart?
Yeah.
I back then I was always Yoshi.
Good pull.
Nice.
Did you do that? Do that one.
Morgan was always Toad.
Do a toad sound.
Toad.
Get over here, Princess Peach. All right, what do we got that's next?
Oh yeah.
All right, this slide is
Oh,
Toad
gorgeous.
Oleosum, Shoshone Falls, located on the Snake River. It's the Niagara of the West.
Mm-hmm.
It's well known as the Niagara of the West, and it's actually bigger than Niagara Falls. It's 212 feet high and 1,000 feet wide.
Now our
Gorgeous.
brother kayaked off this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We have
Kayaked off?
Oh
We
wait,
have
no, maybe not this one. Maybe this is like the big goal. He did Mesa
No.
Falls.
Oh, Mesa?
Yeah.
Okay, well Mesa looks very similar to this.
A
I thought
lot
it was
of
Shoshone.
God, these are probably the most deep-cut personal state references we've ever had on this podcast.
Good.
For everyone who's been shouted out so far, and for those to come, I'm sure as well. Thank you for joining the Statesman Nation, and welcome to where would you say this is? Where this waterfall?
It's on the Snake River.
The Snake
Are you
River.
sure this isn't where Alex kayaked off? I'm sorry for all the deep
This
cut
is
personal.
way too huge for him to kayak off. There's no,
No, it's
way.
not. We have the drone footage.
There is absolutely no way a person survives this fall.
Yeah, 212
He could not have done that
drop.
to him.
You
It was Mesa
can-
Falls. that
All
he
right.
does.
You
You're
can-
probably right.
This is something that I know from having a couple of kayaking friends, but you can fall from almost any height into water in a kayak if you do it correctly at the bottom. It's like a dive. Like if you're doing a dive correctly, it doesn't really matter. But if you fuck it up a little bit, you'll straight up just die and explode. Like
Yeah.
it's wild.
He's a big kayaker.
Your brother?
Yeah, he's on
This
the
is going to be your
Grand
most
Canyon
listened
right
to podcast. We're going to tag every single person that we mentioned.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for having confidence in our listenership.
And
by
then
the
when
way.
Clay hears about it.
Well, I'm really skeptical about if anybody can survive this fall.
Yeah.
Okay, you
I
guys are
don't
probably,
think
you guys are
anybody has
probably
kayaked
right,
off this.
but it was similar to that.
Hey, speaking of Mario Kart, if your brother went off this waterfall, Lakitu would come and scoop him up.
Fuck you. Let's move on. Hit the space bar.
All right,
Gorgeous.
guys. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's Boise National Forest. Well over 2,002,000 acres. It was created out of territory that originally belonged in the Sawtooth National Forest. And it was originally inhabited by the Shoshone people until they were forced out by European settlers. Fuck us. This is it contains mountain ranges, streams, rivers, tons of flora and fauna. I chose this one over the Sawtooth because Sawtooth also extends into Utah, so I just wanted to get something that was solidly within your state. And I think this is an absolutely gorgeous shot. It's just got everything you look for on a nature hike: flowers, mountains, pine trees, as far as the eye can see. Have you guys ever been out here?
I actually haven't. I don't think either of us have been out there,
It just looks like the epitome of Idaho. Though.
but it does, yeah. People think Idaho is all potatoes, but this right here is the real
this
Idaho.
is really Idaho.
I was
And-
going to say this sort of mountain range near the back, that like falling, that rock formation, all that rubble underneath. This looks like it should be printed on the side of an Idaho Springs root beer bottle for me to chug down in a hot summer weather streak. Nice.
my.
Stuart, you're so right.
Why
You
was
are
it so hard to make a flag when you have landscapes like this, you know? What are you wasting time including wheat? All right, guys, let's move on to another slide. Here we have the City of Rocks National Reserve
Oh,
in
I've
South
rock
Central
climbed
Idaho.
I've always
Okay.
wanted to go here.
Yeah.
I thought Detroit was the rock city. Thanks.
No, you've been here.
Nope, I haven't.
Didn't you go rock climbing with us?
No.
Aunt Mandy and Uncle Scott were there.
No.
That's awesome that you guys have been here because, like, in my notes, it does just talk about how this is a prime spot for rock climbing. Do you guys free solo at all?
No.
Have you guys seen Free Solo? We've seen it like
Yeah.
6 times.
What?
Yes.
6 times in like
Even
3
after
weeks
we
or
watched it like 4 times, we chose to watch it on the airplane.
yeah.
Yeah,
On
free
the way
solo.
back here.
Alex Honnold is an absolute monster.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
A monster in terms of how he treats his girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
he is kind of.
He's a little bit shallow in that regard.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey, no offense to Alex Holland or
No, love him.
Honnold. He knows what he wants to do, and that's die on El Capitan.
Wow.
Hey, when you guys said free solo, I thought you were going to give out a digital promo code so I could download
Ultraviolet.
my favorite film.
Well, this is a gorgeous place. Solo, Tim?
Move on.
All right.
Solo, a
so
Star Wars story.
You've been rock climbing here. Was it dangerous or was it exhilarating?
It was
Or both.
really amazing. It's just a perfect place for like even beginners. My uncle's very good, but there were like some snakes that were in some of the rocks, so that's kind of the real danger.
Oh man.
There's a snake in that rock.
I was pretty young, but I had like a little flint and steel, and I lit a fire, like just a little controlled fire there. But
Mhm.
my grandma Colleen got pretty scared. That was the danger for her,
Oh wow.
but it was controlled. I had everything under control.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
a good story.
A fun day outside.
you.
Really productive.
Really a great time.
No,
Those are the memories.
That's super awesome. Let's move on to the next slide.
There's Coeur d'Alene.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
right?
we have Lake Coeur d'Alene. Yeah, located in northern Idaho. It's a
love-
dam-controlled
gorgeous.
lake, and
It's a
20
dam-controlled lake.
it's 25 miles long and up to 3 miles wide. So that's a big boy.
Can I ask? You said I've heard two pronunciations: Coeur d'Alene and Coeur d'Alene, and this lake doesn't look purple.
Lean as in codeine and another juice.
Stu's just making that joke
Okay,
because it's
wow. I
named
still
after
didn't
get
the local tribe of Native Americans.
Is that true? The Coeur d'Alene?
Yeah.
Yep.
Coeur d'Alene tribe.
Interesting. And I assume, do they? I read something about there still being. Are there settlements or any reservations near Idaho?
Yeah.
tons.
Yeah. There are.
It's just a beautiful lake. There's
I was gonna name some,
a
but
single family boat powering through. We have a nice hawk up in a tree watching
Mhm.
over.
Classic.
that's
and
what
then-
it really looks like. It's so beautiful. I lived there for a couple years too. That's where me and Sarah Palin had our college experience together.
You're telling me Sarah Palin boated around this lake?
She did. The Sarah Palin we all know.
You know-
she was in this lake.
she was.
I think one fun fact about Idaho that neither of you might know is that most of your state is powered by hydroelectricity. And this is, I think, one of the locations of one of your major power plants.
How come you think we
Yeah,
don't
how
know
dare
that?
you?
Do you not know?
I knew
Of
that.
course
Oh,
we
okay.
know that.
Why would we not know that?
You're right. I apologize.
You know how many dams are in that place?
I don't.
They're all over.
Okay.
Nice.
Speaking of hydroelectric power and green power in general, I mean, Taylor, earlier you said you were a giant fan of Idaho. Are there any giant fans? Windmill power in Idaho?
Oh, so many windmills. Oh, these segues are just, I can't believe it.
They're tight as fuck. This picture is cool.
Hey, when you said giant fans, I almost raised my hand, brother.
You can't segue segues.
All right, let's move on to the next slide. Here we have Redfish Lake, located in the Sawtooth National Recreation Area in
Wow.
central Idaho. It's 4.5 miles long and about 3/4 of a mile wide. It's named Redfish because it used to have such a dense population of sockeye salmon, and they were so populous within the lake that it would shine red during spawning season. So it was absolutely jam-packed. Now it's crystal clear. You can see the reflection of the sky and the mountain range beyond it. It looks like absolutely gorgeous. And there are tons of single-family boats just hanging out dockside, baby.
Gorgeous. Never been here.
Yeah, I don't think I've been there either, but it is gorgeous.
Anthony, you're telling me that when a fish fucked, this lake turned red?
Yeah, there were so many eggs lying around and so many tummies that you could just see the famous sockeye salmon tums, bright red, and this whole lake would glow.
Wow, Red Fish Lake.
You know,
Sockeye Sammy Tum Tums.
we've got a sockeye Sammy Tum Tum in this podcast. This episode is pregnant with jokes.
It's got a lot of pregnant pauses. That's for sure.
Let's move on to the next slide.
Yeah, sure thing.
All right,
Gorgeous.
here we have Schweitzer Mountain Resort, a ski resort in northern Idaho.
That is beautiful.
This is a massive, massive ski resort. 2,900 acres of skiable land with over 92 runs.
Y'all ever, carve the pow pow?
Yeah.
On a regular basis.
on the regular. Actually, not me personally. I went skiing once and was pretty bad at it, but Morgan loves it.
Yeah. Love. I haven't done it in a while, but our brother's a big skier.
Seems like your brother's a big outdoorsman.
He
is.
yeah,
He
I want to.
Sponsored by Maverick.
What?
Yep.
For real?
Yeah.
Shout out to Maverick.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
What is Maverick?
Oh, it's a
a
gas station in like the western.
Ah.
free gas.
Oh.
I totally thought there are Maverick bicycles in Colorado that are a pretty big
Oh,
deal.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
but-
I thought just like Sarah Palin, you were talking about the Maverick, baby. Just so our listeners at home, we do have snow-covered pines that are completely enveloped in snow, fresh white powder, a big ski lift, and leading off into the distance, it's just snow as far as the eye can see.
Yeah,
it really
this-
does look like a glamorous place to ski, and Idaho is a big ski state.
For sure. This place, I mean, you mentioned that this place has 92 runs, but I'm sure there's more of them in the state because 92 runs, that sounds like my AAA baseball career. Look up the stats, guys. Diamondbacks.
Well, you knocked that one out of the park. Let's go on to the next slide. Here we have fun. What the fuck is this? We have a fun advertisement for Bogus Basin. It's a ski resort in southwest Idaho on the land of Boise National Forest. Now, this shot's a particularly interesting one because it says ready to plan a true night out. And this is because as we can see in the photo, they have it lit up for nighttime skiing. Their big MO is having people out to ski at night with big floodlights.
Have
is
you
that
guys?
a thing?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a big
yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
Huge.
It's huge. Because if you think about it, before floodlights, you could only go skiing for so many hours during the day. Now you're opening up a whole nother 4 or 5 hours for your skiers on that pass. You guys go night skiing over here, Nadauld sisters?
I've never been night skiing.
They're not the Night Owl sisters.
What? Look, what I really want to ask about this picture, Anthony, is why true, it says ready to plan a true night out, but true is in a different font and color, and it is in the font and color. I don't know if you guys have True Value hardware stores where you're from, but that's what it is. Have you guys ever been to Bogus Basin or have even heard of
No,
No,
never
I
heard
don't
of
think
it.
so.
This is southwest Idaho. I think that's probably the least
Least
explored
explored.
corner of Idaho we've
Yeah.
ever been in. So
it? Interesting.
looks
Least-
pretty though.
Yeah, what do you think that big city is back there, too? All the lights, probably Hollywood.
Probably Hollywood.
All right, well, should we move on to the next one?
Yep. Here we have Silverwood Theme Park
Oh,
and
classic.
Boulder Beach Water Park.
Boulder Beach.
It's located in northern Idaho. The park was originally opened in 1988, and the water park was tacked on in 2003. This is the largest theme park and water park in the Northwest. It's 413 acres of fun with over 70 rides and attractions. And guess what Halloween is called? Halloween events
Oh, I know,
at Silverwood
I know.
Theme Park are called.
What is it?
Oh my gosh, I did know. Okay, tell me.
It's not Silverwood, it's Scarywood.
Oh man, I
And
knew.
while that sounds like
I
a joke
knew.
that I would make, that's actually what it's called.
That's so fucking lame.
Scary Wood.
So here we have like a staff picture in front of the park. We have like one of those rides that go up and down, and then another ride that goes up and down in a circle. And then we have like a water park thing over there. There's a roller coaster. What do you guys think of Silverwood? Have you guys had a bunch of family fun here?
Oh,
We
it's
have.
barrels of fun.
It's really fun.
Out of the 70 rides and attractions, what's your favorite?
I like that one right there in the foreground, where it just drops you straight down.
Mm.
I like that. I don't know if you guys know, but this park is Garfield themed for some
No
reason.
way.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so
it
I
is.
just kind of like that it's Garfield.
We also have a Garfield Park here in Chicago.
We came to this park when we were little, and when we were little, we were really obsessed with Garfield, and we would cut out all the Garfield comics out of the newspaper, keep it in a little
But
Garfield
I think that
box.
was inspired by Silverwood's theme. I think it was inspired by that.
You had a box
Really?
of Garfield news clippings like a serial killer.
Oh yeah,
You
And
can
our
just buy
Garfield
the
I
books. You
forgot
can
about
buy the
that.
compilations.
I forgot about
Garfield
that.
Gone Large.
We get the
has
newspaper
the
for
money?
free.
Well, that's fair.
So, it's not surprising that this park is Garfield themed because it's not open on Mondays. Let's move on to the next slide. This is the final slide. I have goodbye Idaho. See you later, Tater.
Oh, the Tetons.
Oh.
The
That's a great
Tetons?
ski resort.
Well, the Tetons?
That's
yes,
right.
you can see the Tetons from our house.
What are the Tetons?
The Tetons.
That's a mountain
'cause
range.
they. Okay.
I don't know if we've talked about
Give
that
us
yet.
the
Grand
deets on the
Tetons.
teats.
The Grand Tetons.
Are the Grand Tetons located in Idaho?
No, they're in Jackson, Wyoming.
Gotcha.
But that's
But
like
you
right
can
on the border with
yeah.
Idaho.
Gotcha.
So it's like
You
a
can see it
hour and a
from-
half drive or something. Yeah,
Well,
you can see them from the highway when you're driving through Idaho Falls.
Can you explain what's going on this truck? It's hauling.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
looks-
potato that goes in front of the Potato Museum in Blackfoot, Idaho.
it's about the size of the burrito Anthony ate. Remember all the way back at the beginning of the pod?
Yeah, this thing is
Double
giant. There's no way that's real, right?
Oh, it's
Well,
real.
they break
Read
that
the,
up.
Read the
They
truck.
break that up into a bunch of smaller potatoes, like the ones that we're eating.
What?
Here.
It does say it's real, and have you seen it? What do you mean by that?
You know, speaking of pregnant, maybe this potato is about to give birth to a bunch of smaller
a
potatoes.
clutch of potato eggs.
Guys, what a triumphant slideshow. Lots to explore.
Yeah,
We got some
wow.
nature. We got some family fun. We got some rugged outdoor activity. And no one broke their arm during this segment. What did you all think of that? What did you think of that slideshow? How would you rate it?
Can I go? I'd rate that.
Please.
Well, there were no Idaho Falls picks,
That's
which I was
true.
really excited to see.
I was.
So
as
I'd give it a
well.
55 out of 65.
The highest score you've given so far
Yeah,
tonight.
best thing I've seen today.
I sort of wanted to see a bird's eye view of my own backyard.
That would have been nice.
So I'm gonna have to go with a 45.
Wow.
Yeah, I tend not to include like personal pictures in the slideshows. I've never done
Google
that
Maps.
before.
Yes, you have.
When?
You put my entire home in a slideshow once, interior and exterior.
I don't recall that. But overall, I think I got a pretty good score. So I was missing some photos that were a little more personal to you. Were there any like other glaring omissions, like really famous Idaho attractions?
I would have liked to see my University of Idaho, go Vandals.
I would have liked to see
Vandals.
Go!
maybe the Snake River.
Yeah.
With Mr. Knievel jumping it?
Maybe.
I would have liked to see Atomic City.
Atomic
Taylor's
City?
just obsessed with Atomic City.
What is
I love
Atomic
Atomic
City?
They just that's isn't
I have to hear about Atomic City
I think that's,
every day.
I think that stretches out into the INL. They just do all this nuclear testing out there.
Oh, cool.
And
What's
It's
the
not
INL?
even anything. It's like a one
im-
building, and there's a button in it that's covered up with like glass.
Morgan, what do you have against the Atomic City?
I just have to hear about the Atomic City constantly.
the
Like, when do
Atomic
we get
City
to talk about something else? It's
reminds
not the
me
Atomic
of
City.
The Atomic City has that Vegas Area 51 vibe, which is
What?
my vibe.
She means like it's in the middle of nowhere, and there's
and
nothing
they do
there.
and they do like nuclear
there's like a
testing, and they
fence.
have like
Okay.
signs that say "keep out," which makes
Taylor
me feel
loves.
makes
Taylor
me
loves
feel
to
happy
keep
inside.
outside.
All right. Well, we have Anthony. You have achieved an average of 50 percentiles of a baked Lay's potato chip, low fat, and I just want to say congratulations. Really great job. We're going to now pivot into talking about how Idaho touches our hearts. So we're going to go around in the circle, starting with Anthony, to Taylor, to Morgan, to Stuart, then to myself. To summarize what Idaho means to us. Anthony?
I've never been to Idaho, and until we did this episode today, I never expected that I would have any interest in going. I was shocked to find so much diversity in terms of, the attractions that they have to offer. We saw so many different things that looked absolutely beautiful, vast outdoor expanses that weren't just potato fields. We didn't see that much diversity in terms of the cities that we looked at because two of them were the same photo. Google, get your shit together. You're supposed to be a search engine. I was pleasantly surprised. I was not pleasantly surprised by some of the other segments. Not to throw shade at you. It's more shade at Idaho, because it really doesn't represent itself that well to the outside world. I think that there is a lot to offer there, but you have to kind of dig for it, much like finding a potato. I think that it's an interesting place. I'm interested to learn more about the folks that live there, but if they're anything like y'all, it's definitely a place I'd like to go and visit one day.
So nice. My gosh.
Taylor.
Well, they call it the gem state. It's actually the gem state, not the potato state.
Mm-hmm.
And you do have to dig to find out what's great about Idaho. But I just love it. I miss it so much. We're going back in like 2 weeks, and I can't wait. It's so beautiful. I'd say the best state in the nation.
Whoa!
Am I being crazy? Am I?
I don't think you're being crazy.
I just love it. Love the people. you want to kind of keep it secret. You want to keep the people out, but it is gorgeous.
I have a question for you.
Please.
Would you ever return to die there or retire?
Yes, I'd love to retire in Coeur d'Alene. It's really beautiful. Julianne Hough is there right now. You guys know Julianne
No.
Hough?
Shout out to
okay.
Julianne.
She's on
Jules. She's great.
she's on America's Got Talent.
Hell yeah.
You know the blonde judge on America's Got Talent.
Oh yeah.
You know the chick from the remake of Footloose?
The only blonde that I know on any game show was Ellen DeGeneres.
Okay, well, yeah, I'd retire in Coeur d'Alene. I would totally move back to Idaho. It's beautiful and just amazing. So,
Morgan.
I agree on all points. I think that it is the best state.
we didn't even talk about Napoleon Dynamite.
we
We didn't even get one Napoleon Dynamite quote in
That
there.
is actually so fucking true. I
Insane. It's like fucking crazy, right?
I can't believe that. I also can't believe that we've never said Idaho. Anthony?
Hey, remember what they were saying about Chicago guys being woke?
Yep.
Well, that just went right out the window.
The men. You know,
the men.
the men. The Idaho men are great too. I feel like we should just clear that up.
They're different.
If someone listens from the beginning of this podcast to the end,
So Idaho, it's great. Truly great. Lots of really great memories. I definitely will be returning. You know, if the whole super successful acting career pans out and I'm rich enough to own many houses, I'll have at least 2 in Idaho.
You could go the Bruce Willis route and buy your own town if you want.
That's a good idea. I'd take Idaho Falls because it's gorgeous. You guys should go to Idaho Falls sometime. It's really amazing, but
I'll
don't
take
tell
Atomic
your friends.
City.
Taylor can have Atomic City.
Would you die there?
Oh yeah, I hope I do.
Me too.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I hope I die in the Yellowstone explosion. If I
Oh,
don't,
yeah.
I'm gonna be pissed.
When can we stop
Yeah.
talking about the Yellowstone explosion?
I just cannot wait to die in the Yellowstone explosion on Idaho soil.
She truly can't wait.
Stuart.
Well, it's been an interesting podcast. I think some things were major successes, some things major fails, epic fails even. And I want to bring up what Taylor said about the state. She said that it's actually not the potato state, it's the gym state. And when I think about going into the gym and working out, I think of Idaho. You know, Idaho is one of those states that maybe came into this podcast scrawny and weak. But after some buys, tries, thighs, and watching Try Guys, I think that Idaho has become Idaho-hopeful. And I think it's a gorgeous state. And as we move forward, I think we're all going to be so connected that the only thing that's really going to matter is the natural beauty of your state. And Idaho has it in spades, clubs, diamonds, and of course, the heart, which is the segment we're doing right now.
Also, was that speech based off of mispronouncing gem for gym state?
What?
Just to clarify, it is the gem state.
I thought you said gym state.
No.
Idaho has touched my heart. You know, one thing that I really wish that we would have seen in this slideshow in the entire show was a highway. One thing that I totally missed out on. I mean, Idaho is known for its transportation, its airways, its waterways, its highways. And the fact that we didn't get one is a little bit disappointing to me. But, you know, as a whole, Idaho sounds like a place that I would like to visit. It has beautiful mountains. I'm sure it smells better than a raw potato does. And I'm sure that it cooks potatoes better than I could ever. And Stu, I'm sure it sounds better than your audio segment as well.
Would you like to die there in the Yellowstone explosion with me, though?
I don't think I have a choice.
Okay.
We're all going to die in the Yellowstone explosion.
I just like to be at the heart of it.
If you have any questions or concerns about the great 50 states of the Statesman, reach out to us on Twitter at StatesmanPod, on Instagram and Facebook at Statesman Podcast, or by email at statesmanpodcast@gmail.com. Please like, rate, subscribe, and share the show with your friends because it helps the show out a lot. Taylor, Morgan, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
It was truly a delight getting to know
Truly.
the two of you, and you're so connected with your state, and like it's so nice to see how much y'all love it.
Yeah, I feel like we know every single person you name dropped now.
Yeah, I really do feel really close to Granny Colleen and
Gma.
Gma.
Spy G.
Sorry, I felt now I feel even closer being able to call her Gma. Both of you guys are fantastic creative forces. I met both of you through the Harold Ramis Film School. Morgan, you're going to be graduating there soon. Taylor, I've seen you work with people on sets. You're both so talented and lovely. And when you say that Chicago men are very, very nice, I'd say Idaho women are the nicest people in the world.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh.
What a compliment from a Chicago man.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Well, is there anything in particular you guys would like to plug? Stuff where people could see you, social media, just about anything.
Let's plug Katie Jo Callister one more time.
Oh, yeah.
Is her album on Spotify still?
I think it just might be. Also,
Okay.
she's under Azure Isler now. She's definitely on SoundCloud. Also, we have a band called Newton's Velvet Babes.
Whoa.
That's fucking rad.
What? That's so fucking cool.
Taylor has a blog.
No, I don't.
She does. It's really great. It's called Taylor's Blog.
Is
No,
it-
it's called blog:_Taylor.
No, it's called Sisters in Iceland. Because we went to Iceland. I made a blog about it. Okay.
Are you still blogging about Iceland?
No, but if you guys want to read this blog from a year ago. Come on, Maury, let's plug some more things.
We have a
so we can end this.
website. Taylor,
Wait.
what is it? What?
Oh, Cohensisters.
Oh my good lord.
NadaultSisters.cohen.gov.com.
Don't go to that website.
Maybe do. See who owns it. Could be interesting.
No, seriously, thank you so much for coming on. I do have a perfect way to end, but
Go ahead.
all right. Well, Jacob Burton, this one's for you.
Yeah.
Say it ain't so. It's time to go. Turn the pod off. We love Idaho.
On behalf of my junior statesman, Anthony Rossi and Stuart Highcar, I'm your other statesman, Tim Ferrari.
Idaho.
State positive.
Goodbye, Idaho.
Gonna take it back. Sarah Palin, she won't listen to their bump. Sarah Palin's coming south to hunt some skunk. Sarah Palin, she'll throw them all in jail. And when she gets to Washington, it'll be cold as hell.